Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Three Good Guys podcast. We're going to have a good time. We're glad that you're here with us. If you're watching this, hit that subscribe button. Absolutely, positively, nothing else is more important for the next 10 seconds of your life than if you hit the subscribe button, okay? There's a countdown going. Things might not go as well for you as you like if you don't hit that button.
Yeah.
So subscribe.
I believe that if you hit subscribe within the next 15 seconds, God is going to do something for you.
Prophesy.
Listen, I don't know what he's going to do, but he's going to do something.
He's going to do something, all right?
Uh-huh.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, my name is Miles. To my right, we have
Rodney.
and to the far right,
Leonard.
and we're going to hop into some good time today. If you see something, leave a comment. Let me know. Not me. I apologize.
Us. Yeah, we're here with you.
Let us know
We knew what you were saying, though.
what you think, how you feel, and all that other good stuff. But the first thing we want to do is say to the mothers, first of all the mothers out there, by the time this comes out, Mother's Day will have just passed. Happy Mother's Day
Yes.
to you, and you, and you, and you, and anybody who has a mother. Happy Mother's Day to your mother. Amen.
Yes. Amen. Happy
Amen.
Mother's Day to the pet moms as well. I seen a comment say that somewhere too as well. So,
Small deviation. During Halloween, people came around with their pets looking for doggy treats. I had never seen that before.
wow.
So people are taking this pet parent thing just a little
yeah.
too far.
Yeah,
They
going
call
way
them
too
fur
Don't
babies.
ever
Isn't
knock
that
on
what
my
they call
door
them?
looking for a pet treat
Yeah, that's
for
not happening.
Halloween. We don't got that.
Wow. If you're
That's
not a
not
man of
happening
the
at all.
people.
But I will give a dog some chocolate if need be.
Golly, this guy is worse than Kendrick.
Wow.
I'm joking.
That was.
Oh man.
Come
hold
on,
it to
I don't
us.
want to get canceled.
Yeah,
Let's
already
let's
done.
get
We
back.
It's done
Let's
for
get
you.
back on topic.
Yeah, let's
here.
get
They
back.
canceled you on no dog, no pet treats.
No treats
Yeah,
for the
no
dog?
treats.
I know.
They're
That's
already done.
crazy. So, yeah, once again, we want to say shout out to all the mothers. Anything special y'all want to say to your mother?
Well, since my mother is in the audience, happy early Mother's Day. And by the time you watch this, happy belated Mother's Day. And I just want to say I love you. Thank you.
Yeah, love you, mom. Carla Renee, you're the best. I love you. Happy Mother's Day. You know, I think when the Lord made you a mother, and and the impossibilities that occurred to where they thought it wasn't gonna happen. But I'm glad I'm here, and thanks to you, and thanks to shout out to my mother-in-law. Happy Mother's Day, amazing lady. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, wait, wasn't it your mother who found you when you ran away?
Let's not get back into that again.
So
He's going back
Yeah,
into
thanks to bringing them back home
Yeah,
for us. We appreciate that.
listen, it was gonna happen regardless.
that. Absolutely.
It was a great story. It was a great story.
Absolutely. And Mama, I love you.
That sounds like
Mama, I love you.
No, you raised the gangster. That's
I'm
what
a
that sounds
survivor.
like.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking that when I said it.
And
But I
Mama,
do love you.
don't worry.
And I
Oh
want
yeah,
you to know
that's
about
what
that.
I was saying. Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah. That's the-
And one more shout out. Shout out to my dad for making my mom a mother for me. You feel me?
Hey, okay.
That's- anyways, we're gonna move forward, ladies and gentlemen. We got just some fun that we want to get into for a minute.
Oh wait, one more
Well, I
Mother's Day
mean-
thing before we get to it. Before we get
Okay.
into the fun,
Okay.
I do have to say this, like, just a special shout out to my mom because, like, in our house there was like yin and yang. Dang, not sinuses. Yin and yang. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I really appreciate Mom for just being that calm, peace, and that tenderness that we needed in the house. That we often talk about the discipline side, but it was balanced. It was well balanced, and that was all thanks to Mom. So
That's
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. And no disrespect to any other mothers, but I do feel like I have the greatest mother of all time. And not only do
I'm not
I
gonna
feel
take
that way,
I'm gonna stop you right there. You know what,
There's
Sherelle?
no disrespect. huh?
No disrespect. I love you. I really do. But Sherelle know my mom. Listen, I got the funniest mom of all time. The greatest mom of all time. If we get into Mom Day stories, yeah, we'll hold on to
We'll
that.
hold
yeah,
those.
we'll hold on
'Cause,
to that.
yeah.
We're bringing the moms on one of these days.
One of
Yeah,
these days,
absolutely.
Bring the
That's gonna be
moms on
great.
one of these days.
We got a lot of questions for them.
Sure.
Oh,
Well, I know I got a lot of questions for mine. And we need this to be recorded.
questions that need answers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's probably gonna be a long episode too.
Ooh, yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
Might be
gonna
a
get
season finale or something.
Get into some history and some things. Anyways, let's move
get
forward real quick. Y'all,
No,
especially.
sorry.
Oh my goodness.
here we
So
go.
again.
I got one more mob.
All right, Kanye, let's
Yeah,
go.
shout out to my wife.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Beautiful
Yeah,
mother.
okay, we
Cur-
got you. We didn't want you to
currently-
get in trouble.
Currently pregnant,
Yeah,
okay.
Amazing mother, and about to make me a dad, so
That's dope.
Okay.
I gotta shout that one out,
Eh,
right?
So I got to run this since we run it back. I got to run this one
We
back.
ain't never gonna finish.
Shout out to Leonard for making Gina a mom again.
Yeah, that's right. I'll take
Again.
that. I'll take that.
And to my sister-in-laws, they're both mothers. Shout out to y'all. So
And grandmothers, we can go down.
All
the
the
list.
mothers.
Yeah, all the
It's
mothers.
a lot of
All of
Go down
y'all.
the list. All the
and
moms.
I truly appreciate all of them. But let's get going because I got to hear from y'all, and then I want to be able to hear from the audience this next thing. So we were wondering, what are the shows that we are all currently watching right now? So when you see this, put in the comment section a show that you are currently watching, what you like about it, what you love about it. We're going to start on this end, the elder statesman, and
All
work our way
right,
down.
so I'm currently watching. Well, I watch a lot of television. Okay, that's me and my wife's thing. That's what we like to do. Currently watching by myself, The Jinx season 2.
Okay.
It's a documentary about this rich guy who killed. I'm just going ahead and say he killed 3 people. He admitted to it, kinda. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. But it definitely shows how wealth can buy you certain privileges. I don't think the police really looked into it enough, just because of his money.
So when Drake said he was too rich and famous for the accusations,
Yes, it's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
It's the complete
Wow.
opposite.
Continues to
interesting.
be proven otherwise. There.
And so for anybody that wants to see it, this guy chopped up one of the people that he killed, and we know he chopped him up, and he still got away with it. Like went through court and still got away with it. So that's the Jinx. I'll let you guys watch that. I started Velma. I do not want anyone to ever watch that. It's a disgrace to all things Scooby Doo. Is it called Velma? Which one? It's on HBO
Yeah,
Max.
is it starring Velma.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure probably it is. Yeah.
It's a disgrace to all things Scooby Doo. It's
Goodness gracious.
but there is no Scooby for starters.
Yeah, that's rough.
Freddy is a weirdo. Shaggy is black with dreadlocks, and
I didn't see that coming.
Velma and Daphne are in love with each other.
Oh,
And I don't mean it in a friendly way. It's not Jonathan and David.
there's a twist
It's-
on that show.
It's yeah. I'm not telling anybody to watch that. I was like, what? Who destroyed Scooby Doo? That's all I want to know. Like who messed up Scooby Doo? And then finally, I'm sorry, I told you I watch a lot of TV.
Yeah, because you got way more than me.
Me and my wife are going through The Sopranos. It's my 3rd time going through it. It is.
Running back to
It's a
classics, huh?
great show. She never
haven't
seen
watched that yet.
It. Oh, it's great. It's great. It's my second favorite HBO original series.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Okay. What are you into?
Oh man, so I just got finished watching Them season 2, which was on, I think it's on Amazon.
Is them anything like?
It's like a black horror. So the reason why I was so
Yep.
the
I'm
reason why I
out.
was so into it because the first season took place in Compton. It was like it's actually like
West Side?
yeah, it's like kind of has some historically sound things there and themes. And
Mustard
so
over
yeah,
beat.
storylines. Exactly.
They not like us.
Storyline was fire. So I just got finished watching that. Shout out to Luke James. He acted pretty well in that. He's the singer / actor who plays in The Shy as well. It's pretty cool. I like that. And then, man, recent ones that I've watched. I mean, I watched so many other things too. Silo on Apple TV. If y'all haven't watched that, definitely watch that. Also, Severance. So Severance, I want to actually get into that a little bit. Severance is basically a story about there's this, I guess, system or program that people can have installed into them to where they literally sever their work self from their outside world self. So when you go into work, it's to you seem like you go in and then you come right back out the door, but you just spent 8 hours working. And it's basically a whole other version of you that's actually working at work. And there's a lot of different
I do that
stuff
every day, in case anyone's wondering.
that that's involved with that, and it's a really good show. So if you haven't watched that, great. It's only 1 season long so far, but I can't wait for the next one to come out. I'm excited for what's it called? House of Dragons come back out soon. I mean, that's next year.
You know, I haven't watched. I need to watch.
It's
'Cause
actually
I was
really
a big
good.
Game of Thrones fan.
Yeah. So
So-
Game of
You
Thrones
gon-
left
you
a
gon'
bad
like this.
taste in my mouth at the end.
Yeah, that last season.
but
was
I know it
terrible.
had so much like the story and everything, like the world that's built up around it has so much potential to have to tell other good stories. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this, and I've enjoyed it so far.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm
That
gonna
show
have to
watch
watch that. You watch House of
That-
Dragon?
Absolutely.
Oh
Absolutely.
man, I'm just late.
Show was fire.
Okay, yeah, I'm
The
gonna
first
watch that.
episode, I was hooked.
Ooh, last one though, Shogun. I just finished watching Shogun, season 1. Fire show, really good. It's on Hulu, I believe.
Rodney, I'm gonna say this
Netflix.
about the shows you watch.
Mhm.
I have never heard of any of them except for House
Listen,
of Dragon.
That's why you gotta get in with me. You know, you gotta get in
But I
with
will
me.
say,
I'll send
you
some
put me
stuff.
on the Death Note.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
When it
and
comes
I
to
finished-
anime,
I
we
finished
can have a
that.
whole episode.
I
about
finished
that.
Death Note in like a week and a half, maybe. Like I was
Yeah.
just, I went right through it. It was great.
I feel
Mhm.
like I don't watch enough TV because like y'all had multiple like a list of shows, right? Like at least 3.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of watching a show with somebody, but like kind of not at all watching that.
It's just kind of on.
Yeah, it's just is there sometimes. It's taking us forever.
So what are y'all doing while
It's
it's on?
been-
They're talking.
This guy can't believe you went there.
Obviously.
Okay.
Can't believe no, we're just not watching.
It just
that
reminds
many
me.
episodes
You
at
remember
all.
when you was like 17 and you went to the movies and you can't remember what the movie was?
No,
You know what?
Reminds me-
Actually, I didn't have too many of those instances. You know, contrary to popular belief.
Get out of here.
You know, never had any of those.
Never, huh?
Oh, some in my eye.
Uh-huh.
Never. Yeah, I can't.
I remember I went to see Inception. I had to see it a second time because I didn't remember.
But see, listen, and I'm gonna be honest. You know, when that stuff happened back in the day, especially when I didn't have a lot of money, like if I'm about to go spend money to look at a movie,
You go
watch
watch
I'm
this
gonna
movie.
watch the daggone movie. Okay, let's talk about that. I don't care who you are with me. Okay, you could have came on
He
your
was like, hey,
you
cut
could have
up.
came in your Sunday best. It don't matter to me. I'm watching the movie because I paid for it, plus for the popcorn or whatever else.
Hey, listen,
So you know,
that's hilarious, but I completely understand,
Yeah.
and I just feel that way about it. Kind of about just going to the movies in general. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I go see Planet of the Apes, listen, I'm watching.
Well, we're
Planet of
older
the
now.
Apes.
There's
Nah.
no reason for us to go to the movies except for
But I
to watch the
I
movies.
kind of, for the most part, been that way. Because remember, like when we were younger, we never went to the movies. Pretty much, like I can count on one hand the amount of times we went to the movies growing up. Yeah, I can pretty much count on one hand. So when I started going to the movies, I was like, I enjoy this, and I'm gonna enjoy this experience. So that was kind of what I did.
have you guys ever been to the movies like by yourself, just on a solo
Absolutely.
mission?
We'll never do it.
I saw 42 that way.
You know,
42.
I know
Yeah.
how to stream.
See, listen,
movies.
man, that's tough. I'll be asleep. They have to wake me up after the movie. Now, of course, I'm not saying 42 is a bad movie. I'm just saying if I'm gonna go see a movie by myself, it's got to be something super entertaining. Like, because if it's like a documentary type film or something, and it's not very,
I watched.
you
I
know,
watched multiple-
capturing.
I think I saw one of the Transformers by myself.
See, I can do
I
that.
saw.
Yeah.
I want to say I saw one of the Avengers movies by myself.
At some point, we're gonna get around to see what Miles is watching. But I gotta ask y'all: do y'all talk in the theater?
No.
A little bit.
I hate
sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, don't watch a movie with me.
Listen, man.
We
All
gonna talk
good.
about
I'm
this
glad.
movie.
Like, we get this out the way. That's just a part of our friendship we're never gonna really explore.
Yeah.
Because
Alright,
guess
listen.
what? If you start talking to the movie, I'll be the main one. Like,
I'll
you
be
know,
in there like, I'll be like,
man, be
ooh, it's about to go down.
listen,
Yeah.
I can't do it. Nah, it's funny because me and my wife have like a running joke. Like, because every time we, take us, like, find a seat in the theater, like, if there's a ton of people talking around us, like, one of us will look at each other, or whoever decided on the seats will
like,
say,
"It's your
great
fault."
seat. We'll just say, great seats. Like, every time. So, yeah, if you're going to be a somebody who prompts that to come out, then
Like, cause I
they'll
feel,
come up.
especially with the amazing world of pirating, I feel like going
I
to.
can't believe you just said that.
I never pirate. I feel like going to. I feel like going
Have
to
you
the
ever
movies.
heard a lie before? It's so blatant.
I feel like going to the movies is a social event. Like that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying be loud, but I mean
So when you go to the movies, you feel like you
it's
know
a
how,
social
wait,
event.
wait. You know how like something is happening nationally and everybody's talking on Twitter.
It's
about
like
it?
Twitter. Exactly.
So
The
you don't
movie,
tweet, you just say it
the
out loud.
movie theaters is Twitter.
listen.
That's it.
That's okay.
Or
Okay.
X. It's X.
I don't feel like the movie theater, like, that's why I love, shout out to Alamo Drafthouse, because you know what, you go up there, they tell you this is a quiet zone now, you know, and if you talk too much, they kick you out, and you ain't getting.
I mean, there's
refund.
levels to it.
So then, so I appreciate places like that because listen, man, I like to enjoy the film. I'm a movie guy, so I like, and we go there, and not necessarily, it's not a social event, okay?
It is a
to
social
capture the
event.
full
It's
experience.
got food.
The Dolby Digital sound, everything, like the big screen, seeing the movie.
So
how it's
I can
intended
eat
to
my
be
nachos
watched.
next to you, but I can't say, "Ooh, this is crazy."
I mean, you can
Exactly.
say, "Oh, this is
That's
crazy."
all I'm saying. I ain't
under
saying
your breath. I don't want to hear you. This isn't like tell your neighbor, say, "Oh, this is going down." No, this is you're
Okay,
gonna
what
be
about
quiet.
y'all?
Do we high five three
anybody
neighbors
out
when
here
something cool happens in the
Yeah,
movie?
we don't.
I ain't
We
saying,
don't.
but anybody here like ever watched a movie and said something during the movie? Thank you. The house.
Okay,
house-
now let me.
no, because wait.
Okay, there's a difference between like saying something.
I'm just saying. I'm not
Okay,
saying
go
have
ahead.
full blown conversations. But for instance, I remember watching Infinity War. Elijah, I think it was Elijah there, and I looked at him and I was like, "Bro, this is probably one of the best movies I've ever seen." Like smack dab in the middle of the movie, I said that.
Okay.
Like if I can't do that, I don't want to watch the
Yeah.
movie with
See,
you.
I lean
I'm not saying
over-
have a full blown conversation.
I lean over and whisper quietly. That's what I do. And I recently had that experience. I'll be honest.
There,
and say
there we go. There we
when
go.
I went to go see Dune 2, Dune Part 2, it was amazing. In the middle of it, I was like, "Oh my gosh,
That's how you know a movie good.
I haven't seen a movie this good in a while."
Dang, I'm gonna have to
amazing.
watch. I still
Yeah.
ain't seen part one.
Skip it. Don't watch part one. Just go straight to part two.
I think the last movie I did that on was like Parasite. Before that, have you seen that movie?
I never seen that. That sounds
that a
scary.
horror
dope.
movie?
No,
Okay.
it's a was it Japanese, Korean? Yeah, one of those. It's a dope movie. Watch it.
You gotta text it to me so I could.
Watch it.
Oh, let
Find
me
it
get to
online.
what I'm watching.
Yeah,
So,
sorry about that. So what
the
are you
show
watching?
I was talking about, by the way, it's just we're not watching consistently. That's what I mean. So we're still in like season 2. It's actually Resident Alien.
I'm watching that right
on
now too.
Netflix, which is kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. The Doctor is kind of funny. And then the other show that I have kind of been watching somewhat consistently is Warrior on Netflix.
Ah, okay.
Now I don't know if y'all
Good one.
seen Warrior. Have y'all seen it?
No.
All right, so Warrior is set in like the 1800s, and it has the Japanese.
Oh, the Asians. I was up
Yeah.
here watching it with you the other day.
Not Japanese, Chinese people
Yeah.
coming to America, coming over to San Francisco, and one of these guys is a super kung fu master, and just his role in what he's going through, finding his sister and things of that nature. Like, it's pretty dope. And if you like action, this show has all the action for you.
Okay.
So I enjoy it personally because I haven't really seen like a Chinese like action kung fu flick in a long time. Like the last ones I was watching still had Jackie Chan or Jet Li in them. Like that's it. So to find someone else, I'm like, okay, we got somebody else carrying the mantle and moving things forward. It's pretty dope. And it's not a movie, so it's not like I only get one time. Like I get an hour of this
Yeah.
dang near every day.
That's dope.
Resident Alien. It was a little. Well, I mean, it's a very silly show.
So,
It was almost too silly for me until season 2. They really brought in a good storyline. Are you in season 2 yet?
I'm in season 2.
Yeah, they brought in a good storyline in season 2. So
Yeah, where I'm at, the baby just came.
okay, it gets even better. Wait till you find out. I'm not gonna say nothing. Just wait till you find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch. I'm looking forward to
I'm
it.
probably not gonna watch that one.
You can save your
Not
time.
into
I'm not
it.
gonna lie
Yeah,
to you.
it ain't nothing
I
crazy.
seen the
yeah,
trailer. I was like,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can save
It
your
ain't
time.
nothing, it ain't nothing crazy.
Ain't
But the sheriff is hilarious. So I don't care what nobody say.
No lie, he's the reason I kept watching the show.
Bro,
that
every
one
time I see
character.
him, I be like, "Yo, you are
He carried
really
he carried
funny.
the show
Mm.
into season 2 for the storyline to pick up. Because at first it was just dumb.
Yeah, it was,
definitely.
I was like, I don't understand, but yeah. So moving forward, there's some controversy brewing right now. A pastor down, I think it's in Houston, Texas, had a moment during service where they were like in prayer and whatnot, and he was like praying and speaking in tongues a little, but you could hear this lady like,
That was just me showing y'all what she was doing.
yeah, Yeah, that essentially.
Gina, I'm
do
gonna
it
need you
again.
to loop that about
Yeah.
4 or 5 different times over.
Absolutely. That'd be hilarious. So the lady was like doing that while everyone should have been quiet. So the pastor eventually gets tired of it, and he snaps his finger and says, "Hey, you stop that!" And he tell her to shut up, essentially, and she immediately gets quiet. The internet took that and ran with it. Like, folks are mad and whatnot. So I want to know, what are y'all thoughts on that moment?
I'll start off by saying I feel like majority of the people on the internet that have issue with that ain't been in church or aren't churchgoers, period.
Ooh.
Because
Facts.
stuff like that happens in church all the time.
Every day.
And the thing is, when something is when something is disorderly, you just get it in order. He's not taking away from her worship or anything like that, or her being able to express an intimate moment with God. But when something is out of control, that's not necessarily of God, and I'm just gonna leave it like that. When you're shouting and you're known to break chairs and pews and like consistently, right, or busting holes in walls or whatever, that's out of order. That's not, oh, I'm just, the spirit just take over me. And I'm like, and I understand whenever you first have your first encounter with something, it can be a little bit overwhelming, right? And so you don't really quite know what to do. You feel you do feel freedom, and you want to, scream, jump, and shout. Great. But then there is also a time and place for everything, and God works in decency and in order.
One thing I know about black churches, they gonna give you a praise break.
Oh yeah,
So they gonna give you time,
the opportunity to
you
holler.
You gonna get it.
So guess what? If it was that time, I promise you, Pastor Keon wouldn't have said nothing to that lady.
Word.
If it's shouting time, it's his time. But that wasn't the time.
That wasn't the time. And also, I heard people or saw people commenting things like, she was in the spirit and he wanted to mess that up. I can tell you right now, if she was making that noise because the Spirit of God came over her, him telling her to hush
Would not have stopped
would
it.
not have made her hush at all. Let me give an example. When I got baptized, this is something that I was I was not in control at all. To the point where I'm thinking and asking myself, Miles, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? So I get baptized. I wish we had video. All we have is a picture. But my family was there. They know. I go down in the water. When I come up, my hands straight in the air, right? And I start laughing and speaking in tongues. And the whole time I'm doing it, I'm wondering, bro, what are you laughing at? And what the heck are you saying? Because I didn't know what speaking in tongues was at the time. I was young, but I was not in control of that. If someone would have told me to stop, they just got mad at me because I would have kept laughing and speaking in tongues. There was no just stop. And I know there was no just stop because I tried to stop me. And I couldn't stop it. So if I'm not going to stop it, you're definitely not going to tell me to hush, and all of a sudden I'm going to be quiet. Just not going to happen. So the fact that he was able to tell her to hush and she immediately got quiet tells me that wasn't the Holy Spirit at work.
That also kind of tells me this may have not been a first time thing. I mean, who knows truly?
That's a good point.
It might have been. This might be something that this person does consistently. So he knows.
As churchgoers, we know how our church people are, and we know
For
exactly
real.
who gonna do
who
what.
Get riled up. We know. Listen,
That's
you
a
even
good
know
point.
it's kind of like for those who are not necessarily churchgoers. We'll put it like this: you know that one family member who at the funeral you already know they're gonna act up, right?
Take me
You know that. So just in church, we know the ones like when the musicians tune up. Oh, we know who's going at it first.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I didn't really blink twice at that. I was just kind of surprised that was like a thing.
It was
honestly.
because I feel the same way. It's something so common to me. Like I remember going to a crusade one time, and the pastor like yelled. He was like, "Can't you do your jobs?" When he was yelling at the like I've seen pastors put people in check, and like if you don't like the way. And I'm not saying the pastor was right, but if you don't like the way your pastor speaks to you, you can always leave. Like, there's other options. There's a lot of churches in America, too. There's plenty. So if that was really an issue for you, you could leave. And like you said, I don't think it was the first time for her either.
No.
And I don't think she had an issue with it. But
Yeah, and I think some people had an issue with something he said. I think he said something like, "I only want to hear God speaking right now," and then someone, "Oh, then he commences to talk and sing again," and I'm just like, well, I think when you're looking at something, people understand what he meant by when he was saying that, like.
Well, here's let me.
It was
let me actually go back
it
to
was like
something,
a
though.
more of a sweet somber type atmosphere. It wasn't
but-
necessarily.
But let me
like,
go back to what you
yeah.
said at the start. You said people really have a problem with it. Most of them probably haven't been to church.
Mhm.
So the people who are saying you say you don't want to hear nothing, they probably don't understand that he does not mean I literally don't want to hear anything.
Exactly.
Because that's not their. It's not their culture. They don't understand what's happening really.
Exactly.
So they probably don't know that he wasn't serious. But
Yeah.
you guys something else?
not really, but really, yeah. I notice people that don't go to church or don't read the Bible always have the most to say about
Oh,
it.
That's
dude.
And
fact.
and all I want to say is you have the right to believe whatever you want to believe, but don't tell me how to interpret something you don't believe in. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Or something you haven't studied. You know, you don't have to believe in it, but if it ain't something you've studied, spent time with, don't tell me how to interpret it, right? So
Absolutely. But I want to actually touch on something else that you put on social media. So, someone that we know commented on that, and he commented about the pastor speaking in tongues. He's pretty much said that, the Bible says if you're speaking in tongues, someone should be there to interpret the tongues so that, people know what's going on. So he's saying, who's going to correct the pastor? The pastor's correcting somebody else about being loud. Who's going to correct him about speaking in tongues? What did you feel about that?
okay, yeah. So I saw that post, and I mean, if that's how you believe, once again, I don't think this is a matter of salvation. So I'm not going to say like, oh, you need to change this right now, because we all have our areas to grow in and learn. So it wasn't like that, but I do get tired of seeing bad teachings or poor teachings, right? And so basically he was saying, oh, you shouldn't speak in tongues at all if there's no interpretation. And he got that from, when Paul was saying, don't speak in tongues if there's no interpretation. So if you would read just that one verse, it would make sense. But if you go up like 3 verses, you'll see he's saying when there's unlearned people around, they're going to think you're crazy. That's literally what it says. It says, won't they think you're mad or something like that? And he's like, so I would rather you prophesy so that they can benefit from it rather than speaking in tongues. Well, that made sense to me, like in the old church when tongues is brand new. No one ever heard speaking in tongues, and y'all in here making this weird noise. But come on, y'all, like, let's just be honest. How many churches have like no visitors on a Sunday? Like, no, that's a true story. So you're in a church full of people who are learned and understand. So speaking in tongues in that case with no interpretation is just fine, because the Bible tells us whoever speaks in tongues edifies themselves. They speak directly to God. So to me, I had to make a post because that post was like just attacking the idea of speaking in tongues in public without the interpretation as if it had no benefit. And I'm like, no, that's not what it said. It was warning you so that you don't look crazy. Don't do this. Cause that's like me going to work and speaking in tongues. I'm gonna look real crazy
pretty wild.
without an interpretation, without breaking it down. But if I go to church and we all saved, and even the unsaved, are aware of the church culture at this time, then it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think sometimes we get scripture mixed up, thinking that it is an absolute, as if it's a sin to do something like that. He's not saying it's a sin. He's saying it's probably not wise.
He's giving church order.
Yeah, he's giving an order, but this isn't a situation of salvation. This isn't something that's going to determine whether or not you can be a minister or be an effective minister. This isn't anything that's going to stop you from moving forward. It's just there is a way that things should be done, and probably there shouldn't be more than 2 or 3 people speaking in tongues at a time, and there probably should be somebody there to interpret. I won't even say probably. There should be someone there to interpret, especially if there's someone in the audience who is unfamiliar. But if not, it's not like someone is going to hell now all of a sudden. Like that's not the case. So yeah, I thought that was a good point you brought.
And like, so me and my wife, we were talking about it, and I was saying, oftentimes, like, people will read a scripture and they just like they build a whole everything on that scripture without the context. And I'm like, oftentimes God tells you why He don't want you to do something.
Yeah.
And understanding the why behind it helps you understand what He's saying. And so once again, it's not a ban on speaking in tongues. And a lot of people that bring up that scripture, they don't believe in speaking in tongues in the first place. They believe that if you're speaking in tongues and there's no interpretation, then it's fake. That's what they believe in the first place. They just totally not reading through the scripture. So yeah, just context. That's all.
Yeah. So just so you guys didn't know, to break it down a little bit smoother for you, if you're on outreach and you're passing out flyers, you're not gonna speak in tongues.
Please don't
everyone,
speak in
man.
tongues.
That's not the situation to where you want to introduce them to the church and that. But as they were saying, it's just a time and place for everything. And I believe, like just as you said, because I may be in my own prayer closet speaking in tongues. Do I need an interpreter? No. So or if in any case, as you said, it's just something that's always stuck with me. It is edification. It's just in order to, edify yourself and be closer to Christ in that time. So yeah, I mean, guys, come on, let's be real about it. And if you don't go to church enough to understand these things, I would advise you to go to church, experience things, see how everything goes, see the order of church. Trust me, that video you wouldn't think twice about it.
You wouldn't. And if you got questions, ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
As my man Street Hymns would say, if you got questions, hit me up on Facebook and we can Bible study more. So, but something I thought was interesting, because there's so many people that have so many issues that they brought up, and it, we were talking earlier about the Karens in our life, and you brought up a crazy situation. You might speak on that.
Karens in the workplace.
Karens in the workplace. Like, how do you deal with something like that? And what exactly happened to you recently?
Well, shall I tell my testimony, huh?
Tell. Come on.
First, giving honor to God who's the head of my life.
Uh-huh.
And to the angel of this house.
Wow.
See, I'm church. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
But
Protocol. Yeah, come on.
no, so it's a funny story, kind of, right? So I go into my manager's office one day, and I love my manager. Like, this place I work at, my manager really got my back. The people I work with are great people. It's just a great situation. So anyways, I walk into my manager's office, and she's like, hey, I just got off the phone with, just got off a call with HR, right? And I'm thinking, and I'm glad I didn't say it out loud. I'm like, what idiot did what today, right? That's what I'm thinking, because I know it ain't about me. And she's like, yeah, the call was about you. And now I'm like, dang, like, what I do? Like, who had what? And so apparently, because I for the company I work for, I train new hires. So it was like a 10-week course of me training new hires. Apparently there was somebody in there who didn't like me. And I didn't know this, because this person says good morning to me every day. This was right around the time I was getting married. So, they were asking about, you ready for the wedding? Like, this person I thought we was cool. Like, in my mind, I thought everything was great. And so my manager was like, yeah, so, you just graduated this student, and they had about a 10-page document, like, with date and time of all the things that you did wrong. And, like, the worst offense was you take off your shoes, in the classroom. Like, at your desk, you have your shoes off. And I was my manager was like, don't worry about it. Most of it's just fluff. I was accused of taking bribes, which, if you've ever seen my bank account, you would know no bribes have been taken. You know what I'm saying? We owe people money right now.
Yeah,
so
I get you.
there's no bribes being taken. And so anyways, this person they had it out for me, and I had no idea. And they really submitted about a 10-page document.
10 pages.
Well, just like detail, like
was it double space?
I don't know.
Front and back?
I would hope so, right? But the fact that they would
crazy.
have like the day, the time, and the instance, and then they never spoke to me about it. And I think that's the thing that really bothers me the most. Is like,
Yeah.
if you have a problem with me, I'm very approachable. And if I'm honestly doing something that bothers you, like, I would more than happily change in order to accommodate you, because I understand we're all here to work, we're all here to get paid, and I'm not here to make life hard on anybody, because I would hope nobody make life hard on me. So, Miles asked, how did I deal with it? I simply just avoided the person from now on, and that's really like all you can do in certain situations because some people they just have it out for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do. Like I said, we were cool. We had all positive conversations. I like to think of myself as the cool trainer. So I don't know. There was nothing else for me to do, but other than recognize this person, they have it out for you. Whatever it is, it's their own personal thing, you know. And I'm just gonna love them from a distance. That's all I can do.
Oh, you're nice to not seek revenge.
Nah, I see. Seeking revenge, like I have a pretty sweet gig, you know, and I'm not trying to risk it for anybody. So, yeah, there's no revenge to be.
And I feel you. I think that's sound. I mean, I've had a similar situation at a previous job I worked at. You know, thought everything was going well with this individual, and you know, she brings up a bunch of stuff to the head manager lady, and we go have our one-on-one, and it's like I'm listening to everything she's saying I did or said, and I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, I don't think I literally told her in that moment, I was like, I don't think I've ever had to do this at a job, but like 80% of everything you just told me back is either news to me or complete cat. And I told her straight up, and she was just like, okay, we'll give you your opportunity. And of course, this person has longevity there. I'm more so new. A lot of other things factored into that situation, which I won't get into. But yeah, I mean, talk about when you listen, that lady did not exist anymore. Okay. You know, I prayed for her in my prayer closet, said, Lord, whatever's bothering her, you know, help her out with that. But they ain't got nothing to do with me no more. And I ain't going to have nothing to do with her no more. You deal with her. I'm not dealing with her. And that's exactly what it was. So after that day, I never seen her at work anymore. I did see her actually, but you know, didn't pay her anymore.
That's exactly how I am.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if this person's there or not because I filtered them out.
That's
Just,
all right.
I don't even see her no more.
But the thing that bothered me is they never said anything to me. Like, wouldn't you
Same.
like if someone has an issue with
Listen,
you, just say something.
Look, you can. I'm all for on the spot coaching. If something happens that you don't like that I did or said, whatever it may be, just let me know. Let's have a conversation about it. Like, you know, we talk all the time, you know, about other things. Like, why not bring that up? Because guess what? Like, it can be rectified. And just as you mentioned this, with your situation, the same was for me. We talked every day before that time. I mean, about all kinds of stuff. All that could have been brought up. So I don't know. That's why I kind of think it's a little bit of vindictive thing when that's the case. Because like you're smiling in my face every day, and you can. I mean, been approachable my whole life. You know, you can tell me anything. But yeah,
I think it's crazy that people would actually want your job. Not like as in them do your job. They just want you to not have your job anymore.
That's tough.
That's wild.
That's beyond
We
wild.
got babies to feed.
But you know, people are crazy though. You know,
They
people are actually crazy. And as soon as you think that someone should react with logic and sense, that's where you messed up. Because people aren't going to do that, okay? They will not respond with logic. They're not going to make sense. They're going to, whatever emotion they feel, too many of us are just going to lean into whatever that feeling, whatever that emotion is, and run with it. And for some people, it's, you know, they left the house and their husband didn't treat them the way that they wanted to be treated that day. And then you have the same kind of mustache she has. So now she's done with you.
That's all it takes.
Wow. You have the same kind of mustache.
He's got some insight.
Has.
You know, he's got a mole in your. I think that's exactly probably what
Mercy.
it was. Huh?
Listen, don't ask me how I know it can be that simple.
That's a Kendrick bar.
Just know that I know it can be that simple. Like, that's really all it takes sometimes.
Have you ever lost your cool in the workplace?
Lost my cool. Not lost my cool. So the closest I got to that, let me take a sip. Hold on.
Need some libation.
Nothing too crazy. I was working at Saltgrass Steakhouse. This was in the one in Arlington when I was working at the Saltgrass by the Parks Mall. And these people came in. Now at Saltgrass, there's 2 doors that you enter into. I'm not the largest person, but I saw these people walking in, so I actually held both doors open at the same time while the entire family walked
impressed.
through. All right.
Good on you, Miles.
I'm like, hey, how y'all doing? Welcome to Sawgrass. And they didn't have to touch a door, just walked right in, got them sat, and or got them to the hostess, and they were figuring out where they're gonna sit and whatnot. and then they had some issues with food or something like that, and they didn't like something that I did, and they're telling the manager, and I'm looking at the manager like, yo, they're just making stuff up at this point. They want to come to Sawgrass, eat a $500 meal, and not pay anything. Like that's how I'm feeling about it. And then the thing that got me though, they were like, yeah, and plus when we walked in, like there was no hospitality, like no one said hello to us, like they didn't want to. And I'm like, no, this one actually said something. I said, did I not open both of those doors for each and every one of you when y'all walked in? My manager was like, not right now, Miles, not right now. But I'm like, you are blatantly lying on my name in front of me, like I can't hear what's happening. And so afterwards, the manager was like, listen, I understand things can go wrong, but I mean, there's a time and place for everything. And now I'm gonna be honest with you. To me, the time and place, especially then, I'm a little better now. Especially then, the time and place to correct somebody who's lying about me, if I hear about it, it's the moment I hear about it. So if you're lying on me right now, now's the time to correct it. Now's the time you're gonna stand in that lie, and you're either gonna double down on the lie or you're gonna rethink your entire approach to this thing, because I'm not letting that stand. So that was the only time I really somewhat got out of character. And it's annoying because things like that happen. That determines like where you're ranked in things. Where you're ranked determines who you get to serve. Who you get to serve determines the kind of tips you get. And when you're waiting tables, your tips is how you.
So they was messing with your money.
Messing with my money.
Yeah, I understand.
They thought they just in there trying to get a free meal. Like if you just need a free meal, you'd have done better coming in asking people, hey, can we get $10 from a few of y'all? I want to feed my family. Like they'd have done better doing that, than coming in and attempting to lie on me. But when it comes to waiting tables, I got plenty of stories about people acting crazy, about these folks making these ladies cry. There's plenty of stories. People they're wild. There are really a lot of Karens out there. And I want to say I apologize to anybody named Karen who doesn't act like this.
Just because your name is Karen
doesn't make you a Karen.
Absolutely.
So you are not a Karen because your name is Karen. But I don't know.
I advise against being a Karen and your name actually being Karen, because that just kind of almost makes it double worse.
Yeah. So you don't want to do that.
Lean away from doing that.
But yeah, there's so many times and so many people that just, I guess, they find their joy in making someone else miserable. That's the only way I can understand it. Like, I guess it's like a prank to them.
Yeah, I think, a lot of times people are going through stuff that has nothing to do with who they're even mad at. And they just, I've literally had to tell a couple of my coworkers in the past, because I tended to always be the person that they would send difficult people to, because for the most part, I would get them to calm down. We get to the bottom of everything, because one thing I realize is I don't care what they're saying and screaming in front of me. Most of the time, their problem isn't with me. Their either problem is with the policy or with somebody back at home or something. But most of the time, these people are sitting with me. I don't really know them. There's no reason for them to have an issue with me. So whatever they're saying or however they're saying it, I can deal with it. But yeah, I tell them a lot of times, like, hey, some people they be going through it, okay? I need you to not match their energy. I need you to have them match your energy. Your energy needs to be even killed and calm. Also needs to be sometimes assertive with these type of people. And then you tell them what you can do for them. You get to the bottom of everything, and then that's it. And then let them be the ones to act crazy, because honestly, a lot of these people are just looking for reactions from people. Like, that's literally what they do.
What's the name of that show again? You said where they go to work and they
Severance.
See, I'm Severance, so I have literally never gotten out of character at work, never once, because I'm only there to get paid. I have never let somebody, even with this situation, I just filtered her out. Like I just don't see her no more. And her friends, her close friends, I filter them out too. I feel like they're all they're just a group in my mind. Yeah, man, I just never had it. Now I've quit a job before. Oh yeah, on the spot. I finished the shift because I wanted all my money. I was already there. And I can talk about that job. That was Uline Warehouse. I will never order from Uline Warehouse. I need a pencil, a box, anything. I'm going somewhere else. It was really hard work, and I didn't feel appreciated, and I was fed up, and I just left my stuff there, like my name tag and everything. And they called me the next day. They was like, Leonard, you left your stuff? And I was like, yeah, I ain't coming back. You know?
Y'all can keep it. Yeah, souvenir.
That was you leaving your boots in the middle of the ring?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's epic. But you know what's funny though? So I worked 2 jobs doing 2 things that get people. I feel like these 2 things get people the most out of character quickly. One, food and service industry. Like food and alcohol. Like people go. When you work at a restaurant where you serve alcohol, not getting their food on time, that's one thing. If you don't get their alcohol there in the amount of time, people go to a whole nother level way too fast. But heck, I seen somebody hit a police officer over burgers at Steak and Shake once before. So, you know, people act crazy.
Y'all got secret
That
sauce?
man was starving.
So I'm saying, what's going on over
That
there?
man was
It's Steak and Shake.
It
starving.
gets wild. A police officer was called because an argument had broke out. And
I ain't never
whatnot.
been that hungry.
And then while it was there, they pushed the police officer. I was like, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Ain't the
So,
meals
yeah.
like $5.99? They ain't
Bruh,
enough to go to jail for.
they had
I mean,
four-
is Steak and Shake really that good?
That's what I'm saying. They ain't enough to go
That's
to
what I'm
jail for.
saying.
Yeah, no.
They had a 4 for $4 at the time. So they had 4 meals under $4 at Steak and Shake at that time.
It ain't worth it.
So yeah, people act crazy over that. And then the last job that I got hired at, part of the job was actually to write checks for people. So yeah, you working with people's money. And people would hop on the phone, and before you hear their name, they cussing and yelling and screaming. And I would be like, yeah, you got 2 options here. Either you're going to stop cursing at me and allow me to work through this because I want to help you out, or I'm going to hang up. And I guess some people don't realize that in that role, I actually have the position to write you a check. So if money is what you want, I'm the person you want to speak to. But they be, going off. And
You know what's funny about people? This is kind of to segue on there, especially on phone calls. I feel like when people are on the phone, they get just an extra set of
Just
boldness.
bold.
You know,
Boldness.
they say whatever they want to say. And I work in the finance industry as well, and so there'd be people that will call me, right? And I'm like, hey, before we discuss anything, we need to verify who you are, who I'm speaking with, because this is sensitive information. I would think it's very simple. Like, okay, I'm going to ask you a few things. You give me the answer, right?
Yes.
But these people are like, you got that in the system. You know who this is. This is me. And I'm like, wait a minute now.
if I had it, why am I asking you?
Wait. I'm like, of course I got it, right? But if somebody else were to call in person and you are calling from your phone, would you want me to just divulge
I'm
the information?
doing this for your protection.
This is for you. You should be happy to give your information to, man. So that really bothers me. And I feel like people who have a certain level of entitlement, ironically enough, are the most of the time the people that are, not. Yeah. And they be the main one. If something happened, they're upset.
Yeah.
So,
And I
it's
can't
crazy.
tell you how many, like, I've hung up on some folks.
Well, of course.
As someone who's worked in the phones, what's it called, call center environment for the last 4 years. Let me talk to the. Is this camera on me?
Yeah.
There you
It was
go.
on you. Yeah.
Please be nice to the people that work the phones, wherever you call in at. First of
Yeah.
all, they don't want to be there. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Nobody wants to. I've worked in call centers for 4 years. Okay, nobody wants to do that job. Okay, and they're doing the best. And here's another thing that most people don't know: the people answering the phone probably weren't trained well. Okay, they're nervous because they don't even know how to help you.
Wow.
They're just doing the.
Whose fault is that?
It's
I'm just
the
kidding.
bad trainers.
Whoa.
It's the bad trainers, okay?
Whoa.
Yeah.
I just had to throw that in there.
Good
That's
shot. Good shot. Okay? But you missed. All right. No,
Not
seriously.
this guy. He would never
They're
do
doing
that.
the best that they can. And I've just, because I've heard thousands of calls, heard people just hop on the line just yelling. And I'm like, this person they don't got nothing. They didn't do whatever happened. It ain't them. Right? So just be nice to people and, at least until you get transferred, and then you can get mad. Like, okay, at least give the first person a shot, to fix it first. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And you know what? It's funny because I hear a lot of, people who will start in that, blaring at the mouth right away. And, I'll just wait for them to finish. It's kind of like, in school when the teacher, like all the people are talking, you're like, I'll wait. Or they'll start counting or whatever. I'm pretty much doing that in my head, right? And so they finally get it all out. And I'm like, okay, sir, let me get your name. Like, I didn't hear anything you just said. Okay, let's get you verified, and then we'll
Because
talk.
I can't get into your account without verifying. Anyway.
Exactly, and that almost resets the clock for them sometimes because they're just so amped up to get all their questions answered. And I'm like, man, you guys got to calm down. And I think whenever you show people themselves, whenever you are not a springboard for that energy back, and they realize that they're the only one screaming and hollering, like they'll almost self-correct in a lot of cases.
Listen, let me tell you something. Now, what you said is right. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what I need every person who calls into anywhere to understand.
Talk to them.
That's a level of grace that you're not always afforded. You hop on the phone talking crazy, they might not give you the time to correct your initial mistake. You
like
could
that.
be done from the jump.
Especially if they already put in that 2 weeks.
Listen,
If
I've
they there to
I've
collect their
seen
last
that.
check,
or
2 weeks is already in.
or forget that. If you calling at
how
the
you
end
want
of
your
the
accounts
day,
closed?
4
Today, tomorrow.
o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. If you calling around that time, listen, they don't got the patience for you. You better call talking nice, or they're going to do whatever gets them off the phone quickest. And if you have an attitude and the call is recorded, and they can go back and say, see, they had attitude. See, they cursed at me. It only takes one curse word. I just need you to know. It only takes you having an attitude for 10 seconds.
This man is speaking from his place right
Listen.
Full experience.
Listen, that call will end. You will still be stuck wondering, what can I do for help? And guess what? It's the end of the day. So they're just probably not going to answer. You're going to have to wait till tomorrow anyways, when you could have got everything you needed. If
Listen.
only you knew how to talk to people.
You know, man, talk about that, because you know what? It's funny. People will walk in and, saying, hey, I need a refund on this. And, and they're very calm. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Let me check and see. It's not a guarantee. And they're like, okay, thank you. In the back of my mind, I'm like, you know what? I appreciate you coming in here just politely. I want to do the best I can for you right now. Okay?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And then you get the other ones that come in. I can't believe I got this $3. What are y'all doing?
It's $3
$3
charge.
And I'm just like, and I'm explaining to them, well, ma'am, sir, because you did this, and this results in a charge, just like you got one 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. This is probably just the first one that you noticed, but you've, this is a pattern for you, and so I don't want to do going above and beyond for you. If you're coming at me like that, I mean, let's be honest. Now, of course, there's some people that can, have a change of heart, and I'm like, okay, we've calmed down. You know what? I'm gonna make this a good experience for you. You came in on 10, and that almost hurts them even more because they're like, man, I really came in here. I've had people call me. I have people call me back and be like, man, I'm so sorry the way I talked to you the other day, man. I don't know what was in. I was just dealing with something. I'm like, you know what, sir? It's all good. Just don't let it happen again, okay? I'm gonna work with you.
If you happen to get someone like Rodney here, who is gracious enough to give you time to correct your initial mistake, tell them thank you. Okay?
Yes.
It goes a long way.
It sounds to me like on Monday, Miles got a lot of grace, but by Friday, it sounds like Miles ain't helping nobody.
Listen,
man. Every time I've ever gone into work, I've been on 10 all day long, okay? And just some stuff people don't deal with. And I've had coworkers, this is how I know these things happen, who they're not dealing with anything. You're either talking to them with the respect they feel they deserve, or they are ending the call, and they might not give much of a warning.
You know what? For me, actually, funny, oddly enough, like people don't tend to talk to me crazy enough because I feel like whenever I get into conversations or whenever I'm telling them something's going on with their account, I know how to present it in a way to like, hey, calm down. We're gonna look at, but like this is what happened, right? Yeah. So some of my coworkers and colleagues over the years don't have that same, and it's completely okay because they're straight, cut and dry to the point. You ain't getting it, and that's it. And so a lot of times people don't like hearing it like that, and so they get on 10. But then I would say when people disrespect my colleagues, that's when I get a little bit bothered. So I will go check somebody quicker, like if they're talking to, especially like, you got the young ones, the real innocent, nice, sweet ladies, older ladies, and you cussing them out and stuff like that. I'm like, wait, hold on, no, we're not doing that. And the funny thing is, a lot of these customers sometimes it'll be people that I've known for a while, and I'm like, wait a minute. So they come over there, they see me. Hey, hold on.
Hey,
We not acting
come on
like
now.
this here.
Come on.
I'm sorry. Then trying to be all sweet and everything. I got somebody in mind, but every time she come in there, from that point
Go
on,
ahead,
she's
say her
just the
name.
sweetest person ever.
Go ahead, say her
We ain't
name.
gonna name drop.
On that over $3 charge. Huh?
Listen, it just
Bro,
be
over-
bad.
You know how Daddy always say your little $2.50? It really be $2.50.
I mean, I get it because it's funny. Some of the people that have some great accounts, let's just say that, fill in the blank, they'll come in there about $1.50 and be like, I need my $1.50. And I get it. That's why they got what they got in a lot of cases because they need their $1.50. But then they'll come in maybe stern, but mostly calm most of the time. Or if something major happens, it tends a lot of those people that have, they tend to be more calm more often, right? It's the ones that don't really got that much.
Golly.
And I get it, right? Because it's more like you can't go without this right now. But I'm like, it does you well to lead with grace
Absolutely.
in everything, because trust me, we're gonna want to go above and beyond for you if you come the right way.
Yeah.
So.
And if you're one of the ones that don't have, shameless plug for my own personal business here. My name is Miles Brown. I actually teach people how to use their voice to create impact and income. So you should really, really send
Tap
an
in.
email, info@milesbrownonline.com. See how I can help you. Because if you don't have, and you call into one of these financial institutions over $2.50 with attitude, again, this may not go the way you want it to go.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get up out of here, I wanted to know, gentlemen, did you guys have anything else that you would like to share to the good people out there in TV land?
Oh, I got a video from a friend of mine over this past week.
Are you okay?
I'm sneezing.
This what looked like he just.
Eyes is itching.
Oh,
It's hitting
Lord,
me out
help
of
him.
nowhere,
Yeah,
man.
it may be time to wrap
Woo!
up. But I got a video from a friend of mine
Look, he out again.
who took a couple of bites of that good old Raisin Bran
Oh yeah.
Crunch.
First of all, that video was supposed to be posted. I don't know what
Listen,
happened.
I
It'll
don't
get
know what
posted this
happened.
week for
Yeah,
real.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it'll get
going
posted this
Listen,
week.
and I'm just gonna tell you, I told y'all, just stay with me. Listen,
And you know what? Hold on. Before you go any further, I got to come back because I missed when you said it. Because at first you just said Raisin Bran. You did clarify Raisin Bran Crunch,
see, listen.
which admittedly is a different cereal.
Okay, is it really though?
It is.
It is.
It is.
I
It
mean,
is.
okay.
I don't know if y'all heard how many
that.
people just said yes, but most of the people just said
Listen,
it
I'll
is.
grant you that, but it doesn't take away from the fact that raisins in cereal is gas.
Oh, my
Okay,
goodness.
raisins plus somebody say it's not. Raisins plus cereal is gas.
Let me tell you.
Okay, especially in the form of Raisin Bran. Yeah, y'all.
Let me tell you.
I told y'all.
I got some
Get you a box.
I got
Go
some
ahead.
yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
I sliced up some strawberries and threw some Raisin Bran Crunch in there. It changed my life.
See,
bro.
that's just
see?
what's it called, a parfait.
Yeah,
that's what that
and
is.
and it was fire.
If you like a parfait, that makes sense because a
And it-
parfait is already likely
It
to have
was
raisins.
fire.
Let's
you
just-
hear me?
Let's get into what you said the other day.
He said take the raisins
You said
out.
the raisins are the problem.
I'm still not a
They-
fan of
they're
raisins.
No,
really not.
Miles, you're the problem.
Yeah,
Let's talk
the
about
raisins are the
that.
star of the show.
Yeah.
Whoa.
They really are.
I'm not. What
Mm-hmm.
another thing that was said is that I haven't had any since I was 25, which is a fact.
Probably 16.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
if
about
I
that number.
believe that. 'Cause
25. How old are you right now?
30.
Dang. I'm sorry. It was a thought. And I blurted it out.
You older than me. Shut up. So yeah, it's been a minute since I had some Raisin Bran. I admit to that. So there's a chance things are different, but so far in my life, raisins have never been the thing. I was like, you know what I like about this? The raisins.
I don't think
I-
anybody
It's the
goes.
it's the natural sugar.
Yeah,
That's what it
exactly.
is.
So I don't think anybody ever goes into eating like raisins, or Raisin Bran, like because of the raisins, like off rip, right? They're just like, oh, let me eat this cereal. Let me try it out. Like literally, that's how it came about. I was talking to my dad about it the other day when we went to the grocery store and bought some more. And I said, I was like, hey, Dad, one day I just, my dad had a box of Raisin Bran. There was no more Fruit Loops left. I was about maybe, I don't know, 15, 16 at the time. I'm like, man, I just want some cereal. Man. I was avid cereal eater. I'm like, all right, let me just pour this Raisin Bran. Let's see what it's talking about. And I've had it before then. And I was like, I'm not a big fan. Man, I took a bite. I said, "Wait a minute."
And he did the That's So Raven. His eyes was like,
Yeah, I saw into
Hold
the
up,
future.
wait a minute.
I saw a whole life of Raisin Bran Crunch in my life, and I said, "I think I like this future." You know, it set me on a different trajectory, and I thank the Lord for it.
Yeah, I
'Cause it was good.
I don't have that testimony. I've eaten Raisin Bran Crunch, but I always find myself like, okay, that's a lot of raisins, and I end up taking some out. Like, it's
Okay,
just too
explain
many.
to me, because we talked about this briefly last time. A time where you ate something the first time and you didn't like it, and then now you like it.
That age-
avocados.
I'm still not a big fan of avocados.
Yeah, you getting there.
I can do like, so the thing with avocado, sometimes people put like just a chunk of avocado. I don't like that. But if it's just like a layer of avocado,
You getting there.
I can do that.
You getting there.
Okay.
One
So
bite
it's
at
a
a time.
little
There
taste.
you go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I can do that. I wasn't always a fan of greens.
Greens, okay. Something's wrong with you there, but that's okay.
I mean,
That
I
was
am
the only
now.
green. That was the only greens that I ate. Like, at one point. I mean, lettuce, none of that. Like, if it was greens, absolutely. We
Yeah,
on that.
I wasn't a fan of
Any
that.
coffee drinkers in the room?
Yeah.
Oh, coffee.
Yeah,
I
my
couldn't
sister put
stand
me on. I
coffee.
couldn't stand coffee in the beginning, but
Oh
I
yeah,
like
your
it.
sister is a coffee
Oh, man,
fanatic.
she's a coffee
Yeah, she is.
fiend,
Yes,
okay?
she
Yeah,
is.
she
I
probably
was
needs
trying to
help.
be
man.
nice.
I might need to pray it off for a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
she
a
needs
little bit
help.
too much. Yeah, she does need some help. Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, coffee is another one where I couldn't do it at all. But now I can. I mean, my coffee still needs to be real sweet.
I think
It's a-
everybody starts like that.
It's dang near
Well, most
Kool-Aid,
people
to
do.
be honest with you.
Yeah,
but
it started as brown Kool-Aid.
I can't
It's
drink
still
coffee
pretty
now.
sweet, but it's not nearly as sweet as I used to. Drink.
See, okay, let's talk about things that you used to like that you don't like anymore. Like for instance, now this could be just because they changed the recipe, but like Hawaiian Punch,
It's trash.
It's trash.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's got a
100%
weird-
trash. I don't
it's
know what
so
they did
bad.
with
they
it.
messed it up.
No, Hawaiian Punch is terrible.
Now it could be just me, or it might be.
Nah, because everybody says it. I think they changed the
Yeah, I think they
formula.
changed it.
I don't know
Yeah.
for sure, but yeah,
And
it's
Sunny
bad.
Delight, I can't do it no
Yeah,
more.
I
I
can't do
know,
Sunny
bro,
D.
and I used to love Sunny
Man,
D.
for real.
Yeah,
That was tough.
Somebody has Tampico in the refrigerator.
I never liked Tampico.
I don't know why that's there. To be honest with you,
Yeah, y'all should pour that out.
I don't know how that ended up there. It
he
was
said
a
pour it out.
We
It's a
should do it
bunch
on.
of little
We should
bottles.
do
I
it
don't
on
know
video.
where they got it from. To be honest with you, as a little kid, it was cool. I guess I just liked everything with sugar as a little kid. But
Yeah.
now,
See,
I-
back
no.
then,
When you was a kid, it was
Tampico
easy.
just it made me more upset because it's like, why didn't y'all just buy Sunny D? You know, like you went and on
You really
purpose
could've
bought
just
this.
did
You
that.
Saw
just
the
could've-
Sunny Delight.
Just
and
get it.
grabbed something
yeah,
else.
yeah.
And I'm like, no, this is not a Sunny Delight substitute. Absolutely not. Just
What's
not.
funny is somebody actually likes Tampico. That's the
Wow.
funny part.
I know. Yeah, they're still
Identify
in business,
yourself.
so- You're absolutely right.
If you're an adult who's still drinking Tampico orange juice,
Is Tampico cheap?
identify
It's
yourself.
cheap.
Is that it?
It's cheaper than
cheaper.
water.
Okay, because I might buy
Well,
it.
nah, I don't know.
Because listen, I'm all for saving $1. I don't care what the kids drink.
I understand that. I understand that, but it's still a no-go.
You know what we don't drink no more, guys?
What don't we drink?
Tang.
No, not not
Okay. I don't think I drunk it when it was popping.
that. Kool-Aid.
Oh,
I don't see
Kool-Aid?
nobody be buying Kool-Aid. No, you buy Kool-Aid still?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody buy Kool-Aid no
but
more.
Kool-Aid still be good. Cause I
We
remember
grew up on Kool-Aid,
Yeah.
and I don't know
y'all
nobody
done
who got
too bougie.
Kool-Aid.
That's what happened.
It ain't
You
that.
might be
need to
right.
get
'Cause
back
I
to your
think
roots
there's
a
a lot
little
of
bit.
people on the other side of the cameras right now talking about, man,
I'm
I'm
over here
drinking
looking
Kool-Aid
crazy.
watching this video right now. Are you kidding me?
I
But
apologize.
nah, I don't drink Kool-Aid. Like,
I know, man.
yeah, that's crazy because
I can't remember. I honestly cannot remember the last time I bought Kool-Aid.
I don't remember last time I like went and bought like pouches or packets of Kool-Aid and things. But there is a restaurant over in
Legacy Hall.
Legacy
Yeah,
Hall.
they got
I
Kool-Aid.
got Kool-Aid
It is
there, and I
fire.
was like,
They
Kool-Aid is
Kool-Aid.
good.
Yeah.
Why
They
don't I
make it
drink
with a little bit
Kool-Aid?
of diabetes. They know what they doing.
Oh, it's a
yeah.
black-owned
They
restaurant.
sprinkle a
Yeah,
little bit of that.
definitely.
And it's fire every time with the,
Yeah, it's
the
not.
chicken
See,
and
what I'm
whatnot.
saying? It's not that Kool-Aid is bad. It's just that
We just don't get it.
don't.
Yeah.
buy
Is it because we're lazy? We don't want to like stir it and put the sugar in there.
You know what? You might be on
that it?
something.
You're right.
You
'Cause
might, we might be too
I have
lazy
not-
to make Kool-Aid.
I have not made a drink in a
Yeah.
long time.
No, unless I'm
Wow,
getting paid
that's
for it,
it.
I'm not
I
making a
poured
drink.
a drink, but I
That's
haven't.
it.
That's as far as it
made-
goes.
You're too lazy.
Sometimes I don't even
Kool-Aid.
pour. I just crack the top open. You know,
Yeah.
this is
Well,
me and my wife at the crib. So, we
I
just
don't know.
drink
I
it.
mean, because I still, make my own. Like when I make tea, you know what I'm saying? That's just as much work as making Kool-Aid. if not more.
Is it?
Yeah,
A cup of tea
a cup of tea
and a pitcher of Kool-Aid.
A cup of tea.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I mean,
more
it's
work.
about the
to
same.
me, it's more.
I don't
work,
know. I
'cause
got a K cup, so
But
I
you know
pop
what?
that pod in, and I'm
Oh
good. to
yeah,
go.
Do you
okay,
put
I
some
got
lemon in
you.
there?
You bougie.
I don't really
okay.
drink tea that much.
When I get the tea,
Like I
you know what
used
I'm
to.
saying?
I
Got
love tea,
pour
though.
lemon in there, and then you gotta add the sugar, stir it up. It's just as much work as pouring some stuff in the thing.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so we kind of converted that into like the water bottle, like my mom
Pouches?
calls them water
Water
crack.
cracks?
Yeah.
that's
water
exactly
crack.
what- and that's
Yeah,
where I
it's
got
water
that phrase
crack.
from
Yeah.
your mom.
So you just poured a little water crack in there, and you just,
Somebody
shake it
gonna hear
up.
this and say, did they say water crack?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what it is.
And that's what we've been calling it.
It's the crack for your
Yeah.
water.
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
But it's
Um,
safer.
So what do y'all like at my house? It's carbonated water. Like I do Waterloo, and then the kid gets like juice boxes, like what's some things called Capri Suns. That's pretty much the only things at my house. And then I'll grab a thing of like cran something, cran apple,
Yeah.
cran strawberry.
See,
like that.
for me, I'm gonna start it off strong where it needs to be.
Hennessy.
Apple juice.
Oh.
See, he's still not standing on business.
Not
Look at-
that strong. He's still not
He
exactly.
said strong.
He's
I didn't-
still not
I
standing
thought
on
I was
business.
speaking for him. I don't drink, so that's not for me. I was speaking for him.
Apple juice is a concurrent favorite in the home. We also do we'll do the Minute Maid punch, because they cheap, and then we'll do the Simply lemonade.
I'm a Simply fan.
Yeah, all the Simply
Yeah,
flavors are
I'm a
great.
Simply
I like the
fan.
strawberry. What is it? Strawberry
I like the
Yeah, they got
limeade.
strawberry lemonade is the best to me.
Yeah, the limeade. It's a little
Yeah, the
tart.
limeade's cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
limeade's
I
super
like
tart,
that.
though.
Yeah, so
And then water. Yeah, that's about it. Bro.
so I always buy water for myself, like Smart Waters and things. I love those. I like the bottles, to be honest with you. With all those different water brands, they be having cool bottles. Anyways, so there's
too
always
much money can't do it.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
got a
gonna
water
do that.
filter.
Yeah,
That's good too.
Yeah,
Hey, the
water filter.
the
Right at
Brita, that
Yeah,
thing works
yeah,
well. I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie.
that's what I
Nah,
got.
Brita, yeah, it be having the water.
Brita's fire.
It's got the extra
was
layer,
like-
like crisp. I don't know. It's
this
like
water
Yeah,
good.
Brita's dope.
You like, you tasted the water like it.
Best $30 I ever
You
spent.
know?
There's something special in
I'm
there,
like,
Brita.
wait a minute, man.
But so
yeah, it's a blessing.
I
man.
always get, I love fruit juice. I love it. So I do, like we talked last week, I be getting apple juice. The
Okay,
same one
there
that I
you go.
showed in the
Stand on
episode. The same one I showed in the episode. I get that.
Uh-huh.
And then all things white grape. If it's white grape peach, white grape mango, white grape strawberry, I'm drinking all of that.
So you know what I heard? We don't make drinks, and that's why we don't have Kool-Aid.
Hey.
We buy it already made.
Hey.
That's it.
That's it. That's
Interesting.
okay though.
Yeah,
You
'cause
know?
I'm not stopping the white grape. So
Yeah, no.
it is what it is. But you know what? I want to say thank y'all for your commentary today. Everybody who's here, we appreciate y'all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Everybody who watches, I gotta hit that subscribe button. Listen, we gotta hit some goals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
we
Toad.
gotta get to 200 subscribers. That's the first goal. We gotta make that happen ASAP, and then we're on the road to 1,000 subs. So if you have an account on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you know a friend with an
Send
account
it
on
to your
YouTube,
mama, send it to your granny.
they gotta hit
send it to
everybody.
your cousin,
listen,
send it
grab
to
your
best
cousin's cell
friend.
phone, go to
Just
YouTube
take it
on
from
their
them.
phone,
You know, that's what I'm
and
saying.
subscribe
Don't even ask.
to Three Good Guys
Hey,
podcast.
And the most important thing, if we're friends in real life, I'm talking to all my
Fam.
friends that's watching right
Wow,
now.
talk
If
to
we're
them.
friends in real life
Mm-hmm.
and you're not
We all gotta talk
subscribed,
to them.
I don't feel the love at all. I don't
Thank
feel
you.
it.
I just feel like that's just a slight right at me, just by
It's a
not.
slap in my face.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you don't enjoy me talking. What's wrong with you?
Make it make sense.
That's saying a lot.
Make
Yeah.
it make sense. So yeah, that right there, we're on the road. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all, but we need your help.
One more thing. I did want to tell you guys like, what I put in the group chat though. We do this definitely for entertainment. First and foremost, right? Just to give people something to listen to. But we also do it to like bring different perspectives as well. But also like there's people that's listening, and most important to me is they're growing their relationship with God. And I sent you guys a screenshot of
Yes.
one of my friends who read the Bible with them now, and so I think we have a great mission, and I think that we're really effective in it. So it's not like, oh, subscribe just so we can get our numbers up, but I do think that we present something
Of course.
to be heard.
Yeah.
And if anybody has gotten anything from anything that we've said. I mean, the best way to compliment us is to share it with someone else. It's
Absolutely.
the best way to compliment.
And if you need another reason, because I believe there's multiple. One, we said that Jesus is king on here, so that's the reason to subscribe.
That's 1 million subscribers right there.
Me right there.
You
I
know?
said that.
If you scroll past without that means you love the devil.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
Yeah, we're gonna guilt trip you into this one way or
Come on.
another. You're gonna
just
hit that
saying.
subscribe
Come on.
button.
And then on top of that, I think I'm a handsome guy. What do y'all think? You guys think
Well,
you're a
I
handsome
kind of
man?
disagree with that
Do
statement.
you think you're a handsome man?
Oh, definitely.
Do
Yeah.
you think you're a handsome man?
Beautiful.
So if you think that there's a handsome man up here,
Wait,
you
hold
gotta
on.
subscribe there.
And somebody keep commenting
Oh my
about
God.
how
Here we go.
handsome this Rodney
I
guy
mean,
is in the chat. I mean, in the comment
I just
section.
can't help it. I mean,
It is what
you know, the Lord has done
I
a
mean,
wonder.
I
The Lord has
sitting
truly
like,
done a
look at
wonder
this
in my life. and,
Nonsense right here.
you know, shout out to you.
Yeah. So I mean,
Shout out
there's
to
that, and then we established. I think it was like episode 2 or 3 that each of us have got to be like top 10 sons of all time.
Absolutely. That's
So-
another reason to subscribe.
So this right here is 3 of the top 10 sons you'll ever see in all of Evernicity.
yeah.
So
Number one has got to be Isaac though, because he let his daddy.
yeah, Isaac takes the cake, and
go
we're
for
not
the
gonna worry about that.
sacrifice.
And
I
then,
don't know.
Yeah, he got number one.
He got that.
But
Isaac
we'll
also
take
had
2
Jacob,
through
which gives us
9.
the children
Yeah.
of Israel. You feel me? Isaac is up there. You feel me? But 3 of the top 10, I'm satisfied with that.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied.
Did
so
that episode ever drop? I don't
the
know.
episode has not
I
come out
think, it's, I
yet.
think it's
So,
locked on an
so you're
SD
alluding
card
to something.
somewhere.
Well, actually, we did.
I think we
No,
put the
we
snippet
got
out.
we got clips.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
we
yeah,
got,
okay.
we got clips
All
out.
right, all right.
Yeah, people know.
It's all
People
good.
know. So yeah, just all we're saying is the best thing for you to do right now if you love the Lord and if you want to make it up yonder.
And you know why I have no guilt about saying that? Because Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. So if he can do that, clearly I could be like, if you don't subscribe,
Talk about it.
you ain't saved. Like I
Wow.
feel like I could do that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's in
Yeah.
bounds. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I fully agree.
Hey, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is 3 Good Guys Podcast. We appreciate y'all. We out of here. Until next time.